Welcome. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we wish you all a blessed 4th of July. Well, we're delighted that you welcomed us into your home, and we hope and pray you're having a wonderful time with your families. We want to hear from you today, so you can send us an email with any question or comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And we're going to speak with our guest today, Ryan Dellacrosse, who is the CEO and founder of a company called Fuzati. He has a great little website called littlesaintadventures.com. We had a great show with him.
Absolutely. Could have another great show with him.
We will. He was a wonderful guest.
Yeah. Well, we hope you're having a blessed day, maybe a lot of family around, good food to eat. And I know with our family, we always do some reflection on the founding of our nation. We think of the Declaration of Independence, and we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. We should at least speak those words on July 4th and unpack them a little bit. You don't have to give a big dissertation, but I mean, our children need to understand the uniqueness, the specialness of this nation founded upon transcendent truth. That the key laws that we have are not given by man, they're given by God. What are they? Life, liberty, happiness. We are a constitutional republic, not a pure democracy, but we have laws, we have a constitution. Do we know anything about the Constitution? Do we know what makes us unique as a nation? Are we passing this on? Because it's true both, I think, in religion as well as in government, that our nation doesn't have grandchildren. They need to be converted to the American way. And in a sense, God doesn't have grandchildren. We need to be converted to Christ and to His church, and to share with our kids and to bear witness to the greatness of the Catholic faith, to the greatness of our nation and this incredible experiment called the United States of America. So a little bit heavy there, but we need to understand what we have and continue to be a bright light and to repent of any ways that we are violating life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right. Well, when we were away on vacation, we went to this great town called Arley, and it was a little bit near Smith Lake where we were at, and when you went into the town, there were pictures of men and women who had served our nation. And they posted them all up along the town. They had the American flag flying over it, and you just felt, yes, this is America. It was so encouraging.
World War I, World War II, all the different wars, all you saw with these faces and the flag, and you're saying, these are people. These are people who served. And on some of those images said KIA, and I'm saying KIA, killed in action. Killed in action. One of our boys, one of our sons, killed in action. Now, that's the meaning of July 4th.
Right.
And then there was a little plaque by a flagpole there, and it says, "We're the land of the free because of the brave." Because of the brave. May we be brave and courageous Catholic patriots in our country. Ryan Dellacrosse is coming up next. He's going to share with us about communication and technology and getting the gospel across to the church and to the world. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, before we start our wonderful conversation with Ryan today, we're going to hear from Catherine Hadro, who is the host of EWTN Pro-Life Weekly. Now, Catherine, Justice Kennedy's retirement from the Supreme Court certainly has been all over the news these past few days. This has been a great news, great time to hear in the pro-life community all the things God is doing. Catherine, what do you have for us today?
Hello from Washington, D.C., Jim and Joy. This week on EWTN Pro-Life Weekly, we break down what Justice Anthony Kennedy's retirement from the Supreme Court means for the pro-life movement. Will we see an end to Roe v. Wade? Tune in for pro-life reaction and analysis this week. And speaking of the Supreme Court, I'm going to give you all a preview of this week's call to action, a way to make a difference in the pro-life movement. Go to prolifecourt.com. Here, you can join the fight to confirm a Supreme Court justice who respects the sanctity of life. By signing up here, you'll become a first responder to get updates and opportunities to take action until a new justice is confirmed. Again, head on over to prolifecourt.com to sign up. And in more pro-life news, the movie about abortionist Kermit Gosnell has finally received a movie distribution deal, and it will be released in theaters this October. As a reminder, Gosnell is the Philadelphia abortionist serving life in prison for first-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. I'm joined by the filmmakers behind the Gosnell movie to hear what we can expect from their project. And finally, in this week's show, in an interview you won't want to miss, I sit down with an incredibly brave and strong woman. She was raped on a business trip, conceived a son, and chose life. Her story, I'm sure, will move you and hopefully change hearts and minds about abortion. I hope to see you all on Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern and again on Sunday at 10 a.m. But for now, back to you at home.
Catherine, thank you so much. A wonderful work Catherine Hadro is doing in bringing us the latest news in the pro-life movement and helping to equip God's people to be witnesses to the gospel of life. Ryan, it's great to be back together again with you, and last time we spoke about Little Catholic Adventures, littlecatholicadventures.com, and now we're going to speak about Fuzati.com, Fuzati.com, and the great work that the Lord has called you to, and it is a great work indeed, the way I see it. I'm sure it's the way you see it as well, and I think back to your testimony on Journey Home, and we shared during the first show, you know, your own journey and process of conversion, and how you saw somebody next to you in a car looking at his smartphone and there was light shining on his face, and you felt like the Lord said to you, bring me there. Bring me there. Yeah. And this is about the gospel. This is about bringing Christ everywhere men and women and boys and girls are, and so many of them now are in the area of technology, social media, they're in the phone. And so what do we say? Some of this has its hazards, no doubt about it. Very addictive in a lot of ways. And some of our people have just said, well, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I totally cut myself off from it. That's their option. But I don't think that's what the Lord wants for everyone. And this is an amazing technology that's reaching people. The gospel is bring the gospel to the whole world. Yeah. It's reaching out to the whole world. And the key is, how do we bring Jesus there? How do we bring Christ there? And that seems to me what Fuzati is about. Tell us about this company.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's exactly what we're about. You know, I was thinking about when you're saying, you know, you can look at it negatively. You know, you look at some of the saints and where they went to share the gospel. It was never a beautiful place, you know. So, you know, we do have this thing called the internet, and Bishop or Pope Benedict XVI referred to it as the digital continent. I want a bishop for the digital continent. I think we need one because there's so much good that can be done there. And we're actually seeing that. And, you know, we've built an audience of over 20 million Catholics that we reach, like I said, every week. Ministries and apostolates come to us and they say, we want to grow. We don't know how to grow using marketing. And so can you help us? And so we've been really blessed to work with a lot of, you know, beautiful apostolates, colleges, religious orders, dioceses, and developing plans to go out and fish for men on the digital continent. It's been a really wonderful journey. And, you know, as we grow, there's a lot of, you know, beautiful experiences that people are having working there too as well.
How many clients do you have approximately?
We've worked with over 110, I think, Catholic organizations. Wow. We work for the Pope's pontifical missions. We do marketing for all of his personal, you know, needs for the communities that he serves. Wow. You know, a lot of. I mean, there's a big list on our website. But yeah, serving the Pope, serving Catholic University has been really awesome. But you know, all of our clients are terrific. Steubenville, Franciscan University, a lot of the.
So you've got all these different apostolates and kind of makeup, and they would come to you to say, I'm thinking in particular, of course, we got EWTN, and a subcomponent of that is the EWTN Media Missionaries that I help out with.
Yep.
If this is free of charge, I would ask you. But so with our thing, it's like reaching people through EWTN, but trying to find people that have a real missionary desire.
Yeah.
So I would come to you and I would say, this is our subcomponent under EWTN, trying to reach people like this. It doesn't have to, you don't have to respond to that. But I'm thinking of, why would a seminary come to you, or a school come to you, or a diocese come to you? So I guess they're saying, these are the people we're trying to reach. Then what do you do? Do you research that? How do you reach them?
Yeah.
What kind of people?
Well, if you're good at something and you have highly skilled people that work in that environment, it's relatively easy. It's like going to a doctor and you're sick. You're like, how do you do that? Well,
he's skilled to know what to do.
Yeah, he's skilled. He knows how to do it. So what we do is we bring the best of class to a specific area, which is marketing. A lot of it's digital. To answer your question more explicitly, you identify who your target market is, and then you come up with messaging that works in the appropriate, modality, right? Because a message on Facebook or an ad on Facebook is going to be different than an ad on Google. It's going to be different than an ad on Instagram. So they all have these different modalities, and so what you do is you package messaging and creative into something that's compelling. And I always told God when we started Fusati, I said, look, if we're going to be successful, we're going to go after the 90% of Catholics that are out there that identify with the church, that don't participate in the church. That's our market. And it's huge, right? It's it's a very large, it's probably the largest denomination,
that was you.
In the country. That was me, So,
and me.
So we decided that if we were going to be successful, that we would reach them. It would translate into good evangelization, but it would also translate as a business. You would see it on line items because you're going to make your clients happy, and they're going to grow. Right. So the whole idea was really to use the internet and use social media and use technology to package the church up to reach these people. That being said, we don't disregard the the 10%. We all obviously need to be fed, as you guys mentioned earlier, but it's finding that target market, developing a messaging strategy that reaches somebody who has never thought about becoming a missionary, because then that's when you extract demand, and that's when you evangelize, not when you speak to somebody as if they are really wanting to be one, right? See how big of a market we could open up by inspiring somebody to be a missionary, as opposed to
So then do you reach this new evangelization population, those who have some background in Catholicism, but they're not really acting upon it, really get what it's about, or how it could be. So does Fusati, reach out to them themselves, or you have to have these apostles that are coming to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we run, our audience that we reach, that I referred to before, is an audience that we created with an organization called You Catholic. It's a website. We drive a lot of social media traffic there for articles and different things from our clients. So we also have a store. We have Little Saint Adventures, a product that we've created that we talked about. So we do our own things, but usually we do them to build audiences so that we can plug our clients into it.
So you connect dots for them somewhere else.
Right, because the audiences are valuable. If you can reach as many people as we reach, you can help most any size organization grow. I mean, we're doing digital marketing for Catholic University of America, 5 or 6 different colleges, bringing students in. We're bringing vocations in for the Archdiocese of Cincinnati and a lot of religious orders.
Yeah.
By doing this marketing, So there's just so much to be gained for the Lord on this digital continent. It's just something that we're all very passionate about. You can see the results. The numbers are given to you when you're doing all this.
You mentioned this area of education, which is one area among so many, and I think even about local dioceses or communities or cities, and it's a struggle sometimes. Why aren't people placing Catholics, sending their kids to Catholic schools? And they're in competition with other local schools and so on, and you got to pay money to go to Catholic school, don't have to pay money here, although you're paying it in your taxes. So you've really got to say, this is why this is special, this is unique, and the benefits of this that you would never get at this other place, and the long-term benefits of it. Is that the kind of thing that you do? And then how do you communicate that to your churches, to your parish, or to other people who aren't even Catholic?
Right.
To say, come to the school. Do you do that locally with cities and with a local parish, or how big do you have to be to get counsel from you all or help?
Yeah, most of the
Diocese?
Organizations we work with are on a national level.
Would you work with the diocese or no?
We work with a few dioceses, New York,
You've done the USCCB?
Yes, we do an app for them. We've done EWTN. We've worked with EWTN. In fact, I'm going out with the online manager here after this. So, but to answer your question, we do the regional stuff. We can do local stuff, but on the scale that we're at with an audience, it's great to work with. Like the Pontifical Mission Society is a perfect example. Yeah. Who doesn't want to give to, a convent who needs, food for, a month or whatever, it's like, who doesn't want to do that? So, but the messaging is important, and you're kind of touching on that a little bit about how do we get people to do that. And we have found it most effective to reach people where they're at in the sort of pain and suffering that we all experience, right? But even more so when we're not, in the sacraments, we're not going to church. You've got, divorce, you've got anxiety. We know everybody's medicated, or a lot of people are medicated. So we know just from our society where a lot of these people are in their life, and we're able to communicate through that some hope. And it's a universal hope because we're a universal church. And we draw them from that universality into a specific ministry, into school, so what we try to do is reach people on a very, very human level. Yeah. Because that's where their pain points are, is what we use in secular terms.
No, and that's real, because that's where you're going to bring them into the hospital.
That's right.
Because like Pope Francis said, the church is a hospital, and we're all wounded. And so it's like, well, he touched me. Someone said something to me. I saw that on there, and I felt like, maybe I'm welcome again. Yeah. Maybe my sin has separated me from going back to church, or maybe, going to confession. But I heard and saw something there that maybe the doors are open and I can go.
The beautiful thing about the internet too is there's a veil there. A lot of people don't think about that. People are, in the fullest of their discretion, right, to look at things where they don't have to be seen doing it. And so it's a bad thing. It's harmful for like pornography and things like that. But it also plays into evangelization, because people are kicking tires around. They want answers to these questions. All of them do.
Ryan, thank you for the great work you're doing with Zadi, and also with the Little Saints Adventure, and so much to really understand people's genuine felt needs, and not to manipulate to some other end, but to give them that which they thirst for Jesus Christ. It's FUZATI.com. You can also go to littlesaintadventures.com. Don't go away, plenty more to come. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Well, we're going to go straight to Rome to hear from Joan Lewis. Now, Joan, the popes have been discussing technology as a way to spread the faith for quite a while, haven't they?
Well, greetings from Rome to everyone at home, and a very happy July 4th. We expats have many ways to celebrate that holiday in Rome, and sometime I'll tell you some of those stories, but at least I'm wearing the American flag today. I certainly hope you can see that. But now let's talk about the topic of the focus of yours this week, and that is to say the new technology for evangelizing, teaching the faith, and especially with children. As I did some research for this, I was astonished at how many Vatican and papal documents there are on the new media, on what we call the social media. I mean, the Vatican itself uses Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and podcasts from Vatican Radio. And what do the popes have to say about all this? Well, There have been 52 messages, one every year for the annual World Day of Social Communications. The popes write these messages. Many in recent years are dedicated to the new media, and Pope Francis's recent message was dedicated to how to distinguish fake news from the truth, especially, of course, vis-a-vis the faith and the teachings of the Catholic Church. Now, we know that the world for today's children, from toddlers to teens and beyond, it seems to be for, by, above, from all the technology, the media we know today, for better or for worse. And so parents, when they want to lay a good foundation for their children, how to use all this media so it is not detrimental, how the media can help them make good decisions in their personal life, good decisions for their spiritual life. And of course, parents have to lay the foundation, and part of that really is prudential judgment. And that's what the Vatican insists on. The modern technology can be so good, but you've got to have prudential judgment. And this is when parents not only have prudential judgment in teaching the young, but they help them learn about the good, positive, truthful, uplifting websites. And so parents have to bring their children to the websites that they trust, they know are good. They have to teach their children how to look for the websites and the radio programs that will be useful to them. And you know what, parents? One thing I learned from a lot of these documents that I read was that when you teach your children something, when they've made a decision, find out how they came to that decision about what site to visit. So, fascinating topic, all very, very modern stuff, but time's up here as usual. So back to you, and happy 4th.
Joan, thanks so much. What a wonderful sharing Joan has given to us about the passion of the Vatican and of our popes to use every means at our disposal to share Jesus Christ, to share the good news of the church, and to share as a family wisely. I always think of the cardinal virtues: prudence, temperance, justice, fortitude in the use of the media that we're engaged with, especially social media. And I want you to watch right now a short video on I Am a Media Missionary. This is a ministry of EWTN to give you an opportunity, no matter how young or how old, to be involved in that missionary spirit of taking EWTN, the gospel of Christ and His church, to the world. So let's watch this and we'll be right back.
My schedule is demanding, but it only takes me a few minutes every day during my lunch hour to share an email or post an update to Facebook. Whether you have the opportunity to share with customers, co-workers, or even social media followers, EWTN can help. They'll provide you with the free resources you need to make a difference.
I'm a busy mom, but after I take my kids to school, I drop by my parish to make sure there's plenty of EWTN brochures and program guides. Sharing the good news is easy. Evangelization can be as simple as distributing free literature and information about EWTN to your fellow parishioners.
To me, it's all about devotion and praying for EWTN and its mission. You can actively participate in EWTN's mission by offering prayers for the network, even if you're homebound like me.
I do my part by tweeting and posting about new shows coming to EWTN that appeal to my generation of Catholics. Let's face it, it can be tough out there for young Catholics trying to live out their faith. Spreading the good news about EWTN is an easy way for me to evangelize and support my peers.
I'm an EWTN media missionary.
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 It only takes a little to do a lot. If you've got a few minutes a day, you can become an EWTN media missionary. To find out more or to sign up, go to EWTNmissionaries.com.
I'm an EWTN media missionary.
I'm an EWTN media missionary.
And we know you love EWTN and you love Mother Angelica. Would you help us to continue her legacy, to bring salvation to every soul, to bring the face of Jesus Christ to the entire world through the use of the media? Will you become an EWTN media missionary and join with the 12,000 others that are sharing the gospel with EWTN? God bless you. God bless all of your loved ones. Keep it on EWTN. Bye now.